Welcome to LandAcademy. This is the Cash Flow from Land show, where we show you how to buy unwanted vacant land and sell it for more on the internet. I'm Steve Butala.
I'm Jill DeWitt.
We are your hosts. With over 15,000 completed transactions, we are the experts in this niche land flipping business.
We hold a drawing to win a free property every month. Enter to win by reviewing this show on iTunes and downloading our free ebook at LandAcademy.com. All right, let's get this show started.
Steve Butala for LandAcademy. Welcome to our Cash Flow from Land show. In this episode, Jill and I talk about customer service, how to use it to your advantage, and how it can become inefficient if you let it and don't manage it. Hey, Jill, this is such an important topic, and I know you have a ton of experience with it. I put this episode in our lineup, I guess, at the request of several members, some of the newer members that are starting to receive a pretty high call volume, both on the acquisition side and on the sales side. So, like most topics, I bet you and I have a differing opinion on this.
Yeah, have you ever worked any kind of a customer service job? Seriously.
Well,
I guess we all do.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't behind a counter. Mm-hmm. No, I mean, I've in college I was a waiter and stuff, but
there's a good example.
But I all throughout my investment banking career, you have clients, and when I was at KPMG, you're managing clients and customers, albeit a business to business situation. Mm-hmm. It's not a retail customer scenario. So, yeah, I mean, I guess we all do. Mm-hmm. I have a very different take on it than you do, and I'm going to let you go first, please.
Why? You just want to poke holes in all my stuff?
I started I started the company a lot of years ago, in my back second extra bedroom, and I designed it to not involve any interaction with the customer. We literally had no phone number.
That's the funniest thing. I like this. You need to go first. Keep going.
And I justified it by saying there is no place that you can buy cheaper property, which is still true, I think. So if there's this old saying, if you expect customer service and a great price, you're going to be disappointed. You can't do both. You can't provide customer service and get a smoking deal. So since you've been involved in this company, you have taken this company into the 21st century about customer service.
Thank you. We do have a phone number.
And I guess the topic is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's a good thing. We do have a phone number, and heck, I even answer it sometimes. Depending who's available, I might answer the phone. So
several years ago, I was asked to no longer speak with the customers in LandStay.
That's
and it's been that
still
way
true. Yeah.
LandAcademy, totally different scenario, but because I love working with LandAcademy members. I really do. And they're our customers, because they're creating income streams and stuff. But land buying customers, it's better that you handle it.
You have to have a lot of patience sometimes, and that's okay. You have to every time, just to give you an example, when I have a sweet couple who's looking to retire, looking for a piece of property, and they're calling you about that property, you have to put yourself in them shoes every single time and remind yourself, what they're doing. They have a lot of questions and they need their hand held a little bit.
We devote a whole chapter in the Cash Flow from Land program. We devote, I think it's a whole chapter, and with recorded calls of you handling the county and acquisitions and sales and the whole thing. So our members can kind of learn from the customer service master, because that's what you are. I'm serious.
You know what's so funny about that? I love that you brought that up, because remember that call that we put in the package? Because it's that elderly gentleman that couldn't hear.
Right.
And I said something about whatever, and he said, "Oh, thank you, it's Italian." I asked how to spell his last name, and he said something like, "Oh, thank you, it's Italian." And I'm like, "Oh, that's so funny. That's not what I said."
Another man who fell in love with Jill.
Cute. So darn funny.
It happens at least twice a day.
Oh, it's hilarious. It was so good. Here's a positive thing, by the way. Think of how many invitations I got. This coolest couple out in California that want to take us to lunch, by the way, that sold me their property. I mean, you meet some neat people. It's really fun. But yeah, so here's my things on customer service. I have 3 points to make. One is it can make or break your business. Let's be honest. You need to manage it. You can't ignore it. It is part of your business. And you've got to develop. And if you're not the right person, to go along and affirm what you said, Stephen, if you know you're not the right person to be handling phone calls and doing all that stuff, then get someone. And that's okay to do. It's okay to hire someone that is good at handling customer service.
I have to differ on this because I think that if you're the wrong person, if you can't just surgically take out pieces, pieces of that are detrimental to running a good company or a side business or whatever.
No, don't take it out, but have somebody else handle that.
Yeah, I think you need to do it yourself for a while. And then
What if you're not good?
Then you can hire it out. But I really think that's how you learn.
Well,
you need to learn what the typical questions are.
What if your wife is saying, I'm really good on the phone, sweetheart, and I'm home all day. While we're working and growing our business, I'm going to be handling the phone calls. You're going to be handling this. Seriously.
If it's a wife situation, all right. I mean,
or a partner, business partner.
I just think that, okay. I would rather, look, that's why we are one of the reasons that LandStay does a lot of wholesale transactions.
Okay.
Because there's no customer. It's the same person that we've been selling property to for a long time.
Okay. How about this?
Same people, I should say.
I will agree with you. But I would like to add.
I knew this topic was going to end.
I would like to add, though, if you're not very patient, you better get some patience. How's that?
Well, let me give you another example about why you need to handle this yourself until the point where maybe then you can decide to take it out. Because if you continue to get the same question or group of questions, then put it in your posting wherever you're selling the property.
That was my point number 2.
Oh. So that's how
you just took it away from me. Okay, it's all good.
I don't see your notes, Pat.
No, it's all good. So point number 2
is... So if your wife's handling it and she's answering the same questions over and over again and you're not around to see it, to solve it?
Yep. Save yourself some time and use your resources to answer those questions, like your website, your advertisements, all that good stuff. So that's point. Thank you, Stephen, for the beautiful segue. My point number 2 is in this business, put everything in there that you have about the posting and tell everybody this is everything I know about the posting or the property. I mean, when you're advertising it, just say it's on your website. Have all the pictures, put the GPS coordinates in there, the legal description, give them an idea what the taxes are. Every question that you think you're going to get, put it in there. Even have a page, like we do as far as this is how the transaction goes, telling about the checkout procedure, that kind of thing. Because it's going to save you. It does 2 things. One, if it saves you so much time, weeds out those calls. And the main thing is, too, it frees you up to answer the good ones. So by the time the person's now picking up the phone and calling you, they've already seen this. They've looked it up online. They have an idea. They've seen the photos. They understand the transaction. Now they're really a good, serious buyer calling you.
Right.
So that's my second point about.
So the name of this title wasn't on accident. Going Nowhere Customer Service Calls. When I walk around your side of the company and listen for a minute, which I don't do very often for a lot of reasons, I think there's a heck of a lot of unnecessary talking on the phone to customers who are never going to buy a damn thing. And I'm talking about LandStay now, not LandAcademy, because I think, again, I have to say it again, I love dealing with the LandAcademy members and customers.
Well, this is where we don't agree.
I just, look, there's there's a paragraph.
I'll meet in the middle.
There's a paragraph in the bottom of our posting.
Right.
That's been there for a lot of years. And that didn't happen by accident either. And it says this. Every single thing that we know about this property is in this posting. We specifically bought this property to resell it, to make more money, We are sitting right now in air-conditioned offices in Scottsdale, Arizona. And we had, with intent, never went to see this property. So please do all your homework and do all your stuff before you even contact us and make sure you want to buy it. Because we can't answer your questions. But yet, I walk around your part of it and everyone's talking to customers.
I have actually massaged that and made it a little less. I made it a little more welcoming.
Am I going to get in trouble?
If
for
you
this?
will. No.
Not from you, but like, you think people are going to email us and say, Steve, you're nuts?
No, it's okay. I think by now everybody knows you and me, and we're different, and that's okay. No, so there's a fine line between helping a customer and wasting time. And
yeah, please
it's
explain it to me
one.
because I don't know the difference.
Well, there is no chart and rule of thumb that spending the extra 3 minutes with that customer yesterday is not going to result in a customer for life. It might. So this is where you and I differ a little bit, but yet I do agree with you. You have to know when to say when, and sometimes that's hard. You have, and I understand that.
A lot of years ago, I really did. This topic came up, and long before the podcast or LandAcademy or anything. And I really started to pay attention because I thought we were spending way too much time on this, like I do right now. And I really started to pay attention to the people who pulled the trigger and bought property and how they did it. And what I found back then, and I bet you $1, it's the same thing right now. The people who never call and don't have any questions are the people who are buying our property and sending checks in, or if they do call, it's to give a credit card number. Mm-hmm. I think the people that call and say, hey, can you put a mobile home on that? Or how do you get to the property? Or I think that, it's not that. I'll leave it at that. I think I've made my point. You think differently?
No, I don't. I agree with you.
What?
No.
We're going to end the podcast now?
No.
I'm banking on the fact that
it's some of, sometimes the people.
You really do agree with me.
I do agree with you. And I'm trying to tell you, I'm trying to word it, but you can't turn off your phone and ignore it. But it's a tough one. And I agree with you.
I'm talking about property sales, property acquisitions, whole different story. You definitely want to spend the time with them, talk to them, do whatever you need to do, because that's your lifeline.
You're right.
And, in the end, you're actually sending them money. So it's an easier customer service situation.
You're right. It's a tough one because, you might have some good customers there, but you're right. Not, a lot of the time, more than half of the time, the person that's going to make the transaction do it. You guys don't even really talk. It just happens. They check out. It's kind of that kind of a thing. Here's my deed information. See ya. I'm moving the money over. I'll wire it in the morning. Great. Done.
Last year we sold a pair of 40-acre properties that we got from one seller, and they were posted all over the internet because Jill and I were running a test. Typically now we get the 40s in and we just sell them, we wholesale them really quickly to either a LandAcademy member or we'll sell them on terms or whatever. But these properties, for a lot of reasons, in my mind, I use them as a test. Mm-hmm. And the amount of attention that those properties got all over the internet was amazing. In fact, I don't think that you did anything for probably a week, except handle calls and emails.
It was rough.
This is early 2015. This is before LandAcademy. Mm-hmm. And in the end, who bought them?
Yeah, in the end, a guy called up one day. Hey, I saw him. Well, what's funny? He saw one. He wanted one. I said, you know what? I got another one, same area. How about this deal? And he said, done. He said, I'm going to move some money over from my whatever. It was
IRA.
Yeah, and I'll wire you in the morning.
See,
here it is, done. It was that much. It was one phone call.
I'm the first person to concede to you on almost every topic, Jill, because you really are more on the front lines about this stuff, and you have a bigger heart when it comes to almost everything. But I have to say,
it's kind of like, did you put this? No,
I have to say that I'm going to dig in my heels on this.
I know, you're right. No, I'm like, did you bring up this topic just to put me on the spot here? This is, instead of having a meeting, I'm going to call it a podcast and I'm going to talk to Jill about her team.
I never have, nor will I ever micromanage what you guys do and how you do it, because their numbers are awesome.
All right.
And I'm sure in the end, it's, directly, our success is directly related to what you do over there.
Right. Really, we have got it happens, but not that much, to be honest with you. I mean, we really have got it down where there's not a lot of talking because that's the point. If they're really going to call me to talk about it, they're probably not going to buy it. They're just wanting to talk about it.
Right.
So
I think, it's a different world than we live. We live in a different world now, and I think Walmart's wrecked a lot of things I'm not bashing Walmart or even Walmart specifically. Or Amazon, let's say, both of them. You don't like the product, you bought it for any reason, you just zip it back up and, send it back and expect your money quickly. Mm-hmm. And I just think that's, I don't know.
Well, so here's where why I think so highly of customer service. And I, because there's so many businesses out there that have just made us feel like they don't care because they don't have customer service. Yeah. And that really bothers me. And I've got to the point where you and I talk about that. Mm-hmm. We'll spend more money.
Absolutely.
I will go to a different restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to be way more money in the end. I'm going to pay for this. Gosh, think about traveling, the travel experience, the things that we'll pay for the experience and all of that, because of the service. Mm-hmm. So that's why it's important to me. I want to always have a very high level of customer service. Yeah, sometimes maybe too high, but, it's important to me. I want to have somebody answer the phone.
See, I guess so. The way I titled this, I just think that there's a point on every call, whether it's acquisition, sales, or whatever,
yes,
where you know what, this is not now inefficient. This is not going to happen, and that's when I think you really just slam the phone down.
Well, you don't slam the phone down, but you're right. But the only thing is, that's something that takes a long time to develop.
I have it fully developed right now.
Yes, and you're not 20, Steven.
If someone calls up and says, "Can you tell me a little bit about the property?" That's a wasted call. I can tell you right now. If they call up and say, "How do I pay?" I'm going to say, Mr. Smith, you
Steven, I agree with you on all this. I really don't understand. No, seriously. I agree with you on all the stuff that you're saying. Everything's great.
Listeners.
Okay, good. I'm like, why are we having, okay.
It's for our listeners.
Yes, you are right.
I'm going to say a few more sentences. You tell me if it's a waste or not.
Okay, I'll say true, false.
Can you put a mobile home on it?
Check the posting.
Oh my gosh, that's the right answer.
Yes.
How about, do you offer financing?
I do offer financing.
How do you get there?
Check the posting. GPS coordinates.
I love this.
I do that all the time. Maybe you don't spend enough time. You know what? You clearly walk into my office and my side of the building.
How about
when it's those 3 phone calls?
How can you offer this property so inexpensively? What's wrong with it? What's wrong with the property that it's so cheap?
Check the posting.
I love that. I get that. I used to get that question.
Isn't that great?
All the time.
I love that question.
I do too.
I never get that, though.
That's a sale right there.
I don't get that. Nobody calls and says that anymore. Not really. No, they're just all excited. Why. No, they're just all excited going, wow, I won. And they did. I won.
How about, these are acquisition sentences now from sellers.
Okay.
The millions of sellers.
This is hilarious. I can't believe we're doing this.
How fast can I get my money?
Wait. Oh, for acquisition call?
Yeah, these are acquisition sentences now.
The day after tomorrow.
Awesome. Do you cut the price in half then?
No.
You just honor it and that's it?
Well, no, I've already negotiated the price.
Okay. What if they just sign the offer and send it back and they call you and say, do you have my money yet? Do you have my money yet? Do you have my money yet? I'm going to tell you a story.
Okay, tell me your story. Actually,
that exact thing happened.
Yeah.
So I got do you know this story?
Tell us all.
I got this, we send offers out. We don't send letters. We send a cover letter with an offer we will buy your property for X and you can get paid by this date. So I got one back signed and the guy called me and said, "Hey, did you get it back?" I said, "Yeah, we're processing it, man. Thank you. We're excited about buying the property." So an hour goes by and he calls me. And another hour goes by and he calls me. And so this guy's now calling me like 6 or 7 times a day. So finally I said, listen, this is the third day. I said, look, if you call me again, this is one of 90,000 properties we're buying right now. If you call me again, I'm going to reduce the price. I'm going to cut the price in half. Let's say it was $4,000 or whatever. I'm going to pay you $2,000. I'm sorry, because I can't get the deal done any faster than I'm getting it done. So what does he do? He calls me. So I said, I'm sorry, man. Now the price is half. And I said, if you do it again, that's it. I'm cutting it in half. I did. And he still sold it. I looked mental issues or something.
Is that okay?
I don't know. It's probably heartless.
Okay.
But after like talking to somebody 82 times.
There's voicemail, and they have caller ID. Mr. Jones, I'm going to get it. Well, how about this one? Here's what I would do in that situation. I would say it's going to happen on this date.
I did.
Oh.
We're way past that.
Oh,
it was super clear.
You already said, okay. He knew what day it's going to happen.
To the notary. The notary's coming to his house on Thursday. This is after all of that. He's still just,
Okay, that was a one-off.
And we ended up buying the property.
I know
for
that.
For 1/3 of the original price.
That's funny. Okay, so what else do you want to wrap up? What else did you have to say about these calls?
Just pick and choose your customer service situation very, very carefully. And in general, what I wanted to convey is this message for land buying customers. The more more questions they have, and the more talking that there is, the less of a chance that they are going to actually buy the property. And that, because we have 17 years of experience doing this. I'm just trying to help.
Kind of true. Remember the lady that bought that 41 units for me in one transaction?
I do remember that.
There was 3 phone calls.
Yep.
That was it.
Yeah, I remember that. And every time that happens, which is almost every single time, I do pay attention. That's why I put this topic in here, because I think it's important, because I think that a lot of new people think that you really have to go overboard and talk to a lot of people. That's why I put this topic in here.
Thank you. It's not, okay, not just to...
I'm not just picking on you.
Thank you. Okay.
Hey, join us in another episode where Jill and I discuss your all-important success in land investment and in life. Dude, I'm not picking on you at all. You know that, right?
No, you know what? The reality is, I know you're right, and I just have a. Do I not want to disappoint people? Do I not want to be? I really try to be really nice and stuff on the phone, and I do have a hard time sometimes getting off the phone. And I know you're right.
Jill, trust me, there's nothing wrong with you.
Thank you.
Just don't change a darn thing.
Okay, because I do, and I know sometimes I'm like, I'm sitting there going, I got to get off the phone. I got things I got to do, and so. Yes.
Yeah, I don't
know
even
you're
think
right.
it's you. I think there's some other people who work here that they revel in talking to customers on the phone. They're not on my side of the company, I'll tell you that. And I'm not saying anything, I'm just saying I think there's a lot of talking.
Thank you.
That's all.
Thank you, Stephen. I appreciate that. I'm done talking.
Let's go buy some property.
We hold a drawing to win a free property every month. Enter to win by reviewing this show on iTunes and downloading our free ebook at LandAcademy.com.
If you want to get involved or you need more information about our profitable, niche real estate operation, call 480-467-0359. You just might get Jill at the other end of the line.
LandAcademy.com. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.